sit in front of you all and talk from two different perspectives. One, as a student athlete, and two, as somebody who now teaches. Somebody who's on the other side of things, somebody who builds and scaffolds support for some of the students you all are sitting next to. There's beauty in that, right? Same way with people that give advice to parents that are not parents. That advice turns into bite them in the butt when they become parents, right? Come on, parents in the room. You know what I'm talking about, right? But one of the main things I want to do up here was emphasize the intelligence of some of the young men you are sitting next to. Excuse me, all of the young men you are sitting next to, okay? Does anybody in this room understand what kinesthetic intelligence is? Kinesthetic intelligence. I've got a hand. Do you have a loud voice?
No.
Let's try. Tell me what kinesthetic intelligence is.
It's an intelligence you get through the movement of the body, right? And the movement instead of actually just necessarily the brain first.
Absolutely. So it's intelligence you get through moving the body, not necessarily just working with the brain. All of your systems, as we know, work together, right? What makes this so tremendously important is that every single one of these young men possess that. Whether it's a pre-snap motion or change, or you're adjusting to a different coverage as a receiver, as a quarterback, we all possess that. Yet a lot of times the stereotypes that a lot of them face in the classroom are just the opposite. But that very same kinesthetic intelligence is the same intelligence that's possessed by surgeons, your heart surgeons, your brain surgeons, your orthopedic surgeons, right? It's not just through here, but the little microscopic movements that you have to do to fix very intricate parts of the body is the very same intelligence that runs through the brains and blood of the young men sitting next to you. I want to make sure to emphasize that. Even further, 2.6%. Why do I mention that? 2.6% of young men playing football in high school move on to play in college. 2.6%. Sitting before you is the cream of the crop. The cream of the crop, ladies and gentlemen. For the faculty in the room that have never played sports, I'll liken it to your experience, okay? To get a PhD, only 2% of college students move on to matriculate to get a PhD. So where you sit, you all have a lot in common. A lot in common. Okay? I want us to remember that, because a lot of times we get separated. There's a power dynamic in the classroom. There's a dynamic with student athletes looking at professors a certain kind of way, like, oh my gosh, they're a professor, they got a PhD, X, Y, and Z, yet you both are on a very high plane in life. Okay? Academically, athletically, personally. I don't know you all personally, but I'm just gonna assume, okay? So there's a couple of takeaways that, as I was thinking about this, and Cam asked me a couple weeks ago, he was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and put you on there. I said, you sure, man? I can speak my mind? He was like, yeah, I want you to. I said, okay, I'll keep it light for you. There's a couple of things I want to say to both my fellow student athletes and also my colleagues and faculty members, okay? I'll start with the faculty members. Can I be real with you? Can I be real?
Yes.
Understand this, and this may not be all the way relevant to everybody sitting in the room because you were invited by somebody, but not every one of your classes is exciting. I say that not out of disrespect, but I say that out of, we all have different interests, okay? We all have different interests. Yet, the beauty of a faculty member, especially an educator, is that we make the content that we have bend to the students that are in that room, okay? I wanted to say that because it's something that I yearn for as a student athlete, sitting in a lot of different classes, a lot of engineering classes, namely Chemistry 142. That one came my butt. Yet the way that it was taught was in a very sterile way, okay? However, being able to relate to your students, being able to talk to them, being able to build that relationship, which is my second point, creates a different avenue for learning. Very different avenue for learning. Because I don't know about you all, but I don't learn from people I don't like. Again, it's my second point, build that relationship, okay? There's a lot of times that you're gonna have folks in your classroom, which some gravitate towards you. Yet, who do you gravitate towards? Where do you plant your relationship anchor? And if you think about it, a lot of times people don't look like you. And what, the unfortunate piece about that is a lot of the folks that tend to carry the pigskin don't tend to look like the faculty that are out there, right? I didn't get my first black professor until my master's program. And I say that not as to say anything bad about the University of Washington, but also to say that that was a very relieving moment in my academic career. That actually propelled me to get a PhD. And what happened there? The content was amazing. It was sociology of higher education, particularly within a sports setting. The relationship was there. Shout out to Dr. Lott, Dr. Joe Lott. The relationship was there. He saw me for who I was as a human, not as a football player, as a human. And he treated me as such. And it created that spark within a learning relationship that obviously you all see here today. And then I try to recreate in my classes. Okay? So I'll stop harping on the faculty for a minute. So my student athletes in the room. Can I say a bit to you? Can I say a bit to you? Let the church say amen. I will say this, first and foremost, being broke was not fun. But you learn how to enjoy the moment that you're in, okay? You learn how to enjoy the moment that you're in. You know that bridge to where you get from down here to go to upper campus? You know what bridge I'm talking about? That Montlake Bridge? Well, believe it or not, the world opens up on the other side. I know everything that you need and have, not everything, a lot of what you need and have is down here. Yet, when you cross that bridge, it's a new world. Sometimes it's scary, but all growth is uncomfortable. When you stay, the more time you spend across that bridge, the more you feel the learning capacity that you all have. And I know it may look like you're the old dude up here, you don't get what it means. I do. I do, and I do truly, because this right here, this experience you have right here, will not happen again in life. I mean, unless you go to graduate school. Go to graduate school. It won't happen again in life. Being around this many people, this many professors, this many professionals that want to help you excel in the direction that you want to excel. It's very hard to come by, particularly at a university, a world-class university like the University of Washington. So feel blessed in it, but also know that you earned that right. You earn the right to sit in these chairs. You earn the right to talk to rock. You earn the right to be in those classrooms. Believe it. Okay? As I mentioned a bit earlier, there's a lot of stereotypes about us. We can be the dumb jock, the triple tragedy, Dr. Billy Hawkins, as he talks about it in his book, The New Plantation, or we can be a lot of different things. And we try to buck those stereotypes a lot of times. Yet I'm asking you all just to be you. Okay? Be you, sit in that classroom, because if you try to be somebody else, you blend in, you don't stand out. Y'all already stand out. You're oversized humans. Okay? But I want you all to stand out. I want you all to ask those questions. I want you all to make an effort to know your professors. Which leads me to my last point. Ask faculty about themselves. As every faculty member will tell you, they love to talk about themselves. That is the easiest way to gain a relationship, right? As you all probably know with networking, the more you ask, the more you learn, but also the deeper entrenched in the relationship you become. And you're spending a lot of time over those 10 weeks or over those 30 weeks. Shout out to you. 3 classes in a row, shout out. That's what I'm talking about. Spend a lot of time in those classes, yet it's the smallest of conversations that you don't know where they go and where they take you. Simple question, what do you research? Be prepared for about a 3-hour response. Yeah, that piece, it lets off of a chemical response where now you're connected to a person, you know that they like what you're going through. And oftentimes what they teach is influenced or if not part of their research. So it shows that want to be in there. It shows that want to learn more. And it also, like I said, helps you build that relationship. So, as I digress here, I do want to also emphasize the point, again, that you are sitting amongst some of the most brilliant people on this campus. Both faculty and a lot of student athletes that are sitting with you. And the babies that will be there. Just recognize that beauty, recognize the relationship, and the moment that we have. It'll never be the same again. Again, I am privileged and pleasured to be up here to have this message for you all, because I've lived it on both sides. So, here's to the day. I hope you all enjoy the meetings. And remember, if you don't understand anything, that's probably how a lot of folks feel in Chemistry 142. Okay? Have a wonderful day. Thanks for having me up here.